Yo, thank God it's Sunday. TGIS is in the Sierra. Thank God it's Sunday. I'm one Sir Grove. I just get to the point all the time. If you go back and listen to my podcast, you'll notice all the episodes, man, I just get to the point. So, I'm reading this article right here. It says, Science Alert, 1 day ago. Quote, scientists are starting to take warp drives seriously, especially this one concept. Again, quote, from Science Alert 6 hours ago, scientists are starting to take warp drives seriously, especially this one concept. Well, scientists have always taken warp drive seriously in terms of scientists who work with and for the U.S. government on warp drive projects. So this is nothing new. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know, the narrative is really interesting. What people fucking think they know, what they think they know, and what they don't fucking really know. You know? What they know versus what they think they know. Sometimes, man, they only know a fraction of what the fuck they think they know. So, scientists are not just now in 2020 beginning to take warp drives seriously. Jude White, the paper that was written on the subject, predates this article by a long time. And not only was it written a long time ago, but NASA has been working with warp drive technology for a long time while pretending that it is still developing said technology. DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, Delta, Alpha, Romeo, Papa, Alpha, DARPA. Again, for those who don't fucking know, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency is what the fuck I meant. I'll say it one fucking goddamn more time. If I misspoke previously, get it this time. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, Mad Science Wing of Department of Defense and the U.S. intelligence community as a whole. DARPA. 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 A lot of people are not acquainted with DARPA. They've never heard of it, and if they have, they know very little. They know very little, if anything, about DARPA. DARPA is the organization that works on time travel projects and then pretends like the U.S. government has no interest in time travel. Notwithstanding, DARPA changed its policy a few years ago and admitted that it had been, thus has been, working on warp drive technology for eons. A long time ago, when I was new to college, freshman level, long time ago in another lifetime, pretty much, might as well have been, I had in my possession DARPA materials because I inquired and was provided some information by DARPA, from DARPA. And in that information, it stated that DARPA's mission is to stay no less, listen, to stay no less than 1,000 years. DARPA's mission statement is to stay no less than 1,000 years ahead of its adversaries. America's adversaries. 1,000 years. Technology that is no less. That is at least 1,000 years ahead of what mainstream society and our foreign adversaries believe to be possible. You ever see the TV show Eureka? I said, have you ever seen the TV show Eureka? Yeah, I don't know if it's in production anymore or not. depending on your parallax view of the multiverse and the time frame on which you're receiving this information in the spectrum throughout the multiverse, the spectrum. Eureka, another TV show, Fringe, Eureka, Fringe, perhaps you're unfamiliar. There was also, was it Psi Factor? Chronicles of the Paranormal? Based on real true events, defense science community, disclosed real world paranormal events involving rips in space-time, etc. And then you have U.S. Naval Photonics Group, which was created and developed with an executive order top-down to create everything right out of the universe of Star Trek. It's an actual military directive to create everything like Star Trek, because they hired a bunch of authorities on the subject. They hired a bunch of experts, that is, those who are authoritative, those who are authorities. They know the shit. They're the geeks and the nerds of the world with PhDs and master's degrees who have read every fucking science fiction fantasy book that's ever been written, penned by human beings. They are authoritative on the subject. Yeah, they are authoritative. And they know their shit. Yes, they are. And so the U.S. government decided, after consulting with all these zillions of nerds and geeks at CIA who were hired to read every single book on the planet that's ever been penned of a sci-fi and fantasy nature, our U.S. government determined that the best universe, the most ideal, is the Star Trek universe. So, from that, the U.S. military directed itself by way of executive authority directive on down to create everything from the world of Star Trek. Everything from the world of Star Trek. You familiar with that history? Anyone? Anyone familiar with that history? A lot of people aren't. That's why they've never heard of DARPA. That's why they've never heard of naval photonics. They have never heard of naval photonics. They had no idea that everything was to be created right out of the Star Trek universe. And they think that Star Trek is science fiction and purely only science fiction. They have no idea that their smartphones are right out of Star Trek. They have no idea that CD-ROM is right out of Star Trek. They have no fucking idea that Star Trek was mapped over to this universe a long time ago, and they have no idea that we have off-world scientists. They have no idea that we have scientists on other planets and that warp drive technology was created a long time ago. They don't even know about Bob Lazar and the anti-gravity projects of S4 and Area 51. They have no idea. They're clueless.